The eye, a marvel of nature, our window to the world. These intricate orbs allow us to perceive the beauty of a sunset, the wonder of a newborn, and the vastness of the night sky. But have you ever stopped to consider how this complex process of sight actually works? How do our eyes capture light and transform it into the images we perceive? Let's embark on a journey to explore the key parts of the eye and unravel the mysteries of vision. Our exploration begins with the very first structure that light encounters as it enters the eye. This structure acts as a protective barrier, shielding the delicate machinery within. This, my friends, is the cornea. Imagine a clear, dome-shaped window at the front of the eye. This is the cornea, the first point of contact for light entering the eye. It's a transparent layer, much like the glass of a watch, that plays a crucial role in vision. But the cornea is more than just a protective shield. It's also responsible for bending or refracting light as it passes through, directing it towards the inner structures of the eye.
The cornea's curved surface allows it to act like a lens, bending the incoming light rays so they converge towards the back of the eye. This bending of light is essential for focusing images onto the retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye. Without the cornea's refractive power, the world would appear blurry and out of focus.
After passing through the cornea, light encounters a dark, circular opening in the center of the eye. This opening is the pupil, the gatekeeper of light. It regulates the amount of light that enters the eye, much like the aperture of a camera lens. In bright light, the pupil constricts, becoming smaller to limit the amount of light entering the eye.
Conversely, in dim light, the pupil dilates, widening to allow more light to enter. This dynamic adjustment ensures that the eye receives an optimal amount of light for clear vision in varying lighting conditions. Think of it as the eye's way of adapting to the ever-changing light levels of our surroundings.
Surrounding the pupil is the iris, the colorful part of the eye. It's a ring of muscle fibers that controls the size of the pupil, much like the diaphragm in a camera. The iris is responsible for the unique color of our eyes, ranging from shades of blue, green, and brown.
These variations in color are determined by the amount and distribution of a pigment called melanin. When we talk about someone having blue eyes, we're essentially referring to the way their irises scatter light. Blue eyes contain less melanin, causing shorter wavelengths of light, blue light, to scatter more easily, giving the iris its blue appearance. Brown eyes, on the other hand, have more melanin, absorbing more light and appearing darker.
Section 5. Focusing the world, the lens.
Behind the pupil lies the lens, a transparent biconvex structure that further refracts light. Unlike the cornea, which has a fixed shape, the lens is flexible and can change its shape to fine-tune the focus of light onto the retina.
This remarkable ability of the lens to adjust its shape is known as accommodation. Think of the lens as a magnifying glass, capable of adjusting its power to bring objects at varying distances into sharp focus.
When we look at something far away, the lens becomes thinner. And when we shift our gaze to something closer, the lens thickens, increasing its refractive power to maintain a clear image.
Section 6. Fine-tuning the picture, ciliary muscles, and accommodation.
The lens's ability to change shape is controlled by a ring of muscles called the ciliary muscles. These muscles surround the lens and are attached to it by tiny fibers called zonules.
When the ciliary muscles contract, the zonules relax, allowing the lens to become thicker and rounder. This increased curvature increases the lens's refractive power, allowing us to focus on near objects.
Conversely, when the ciliary muscles relax, the zonules tighten, pulling the lens flatter and decreasing its refractive power for distant vision.
Section 7. Maintaining the eye's shape, the vitreous humor.
Filling the space between the lens and the retina is a clear, gel-like substance called the vitreous humor. This viscous fluid helps maintain the eye's shape and provide support for the internal structures.
It's transparent, allowing light to pass through unimpeded from the lens to the retina.
The vitreous humor also plays a role in protecting the eye from shock and trauma. Its gel-like consistency acts as a cushion, absorbing some of the impact from sudden movements or external forces.
Section 8, from light to sight, the retina.
The light that has traveled through the cornea, pupil, and lens finally reaches its destination, the retina.
This thin, light-sensitive layer lining the back of the eye is where the magic of vision truly happens.
The retina contains millions of specialized cells called photoreceptors, which are responsible for converting light into electrical signals.
There are two types of photoreceptors, rods and cones.
Rods are highly sensitive to light and allow us to see in dim conditions, while cones are responsible for color vision and visual acuity or sharpness of vision.
When light strikes the photoreceptors, it triggers a series of chemical reactions that generate electrical signals.
Section 9, the sharp center macula and fovea. In the central region of the retina lies a small, highly sensitive area called the macula.
This specialized region is responsible for our sharp central vision, allowing us to see fine details, read and recognize faces.
At the center of the macula is a small depression called the fovea.
The fovea is densely packed with cones, the photoreceptors responsible for sharp vision.
This high concentration of cones in the fovea enables us to perceive the world with incredible detail and clarity.
When we focus our gaze on an object, its image is projected directly onto the fovea.
Section 10 signals to the brain the optic nerve. The electrical signals generated by the photoreceptors in the retina are transmitted to the brain via the optic nerve.
This thick bundle of nerve fibers exits the back of the eye and carries visual information to the brain, where it is interpreted as images.
The point where the optic nerve exits the eye is known as the blind spot.
This small area lacks photoreceptors, meaning it cannot detect light.
We are normally unaware of our blind spots because our brains fill in the missing information based on the surrounding visual field. Section 11, nourishing the eye, the choroid. Behind the retina lies the choroid, a layer of tissue that supplies blood and nutrients to the retina and other structures in the eye.
It's pigmented, containing melanin, which helps absorb stray light and prevent internal reflections that could interfere with vision.
The choroid plays a vital role in maintaining the health and function of the retina, ensuring it receives the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function properly. Section 12, a journey of light, a world of sight. And so we reach the end of our journey through the remarkable world of the eye. We've seen how light enters the eye, is refracted and focused by the cornea and lens, and ultimately strikes the retina, where it is transformed into electrical signals that travel to the brain via the optic nerve. It's a complex and intricate process, yet it happens seamlessly thousands of times every minute, allowing us to experience the beauty and wonder of the world around us. The next time you gaze upon a breathtaking sunset or marvel at the intricate details of a flower, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey of light and the complex symphony of structures that make vision possible. The eye, a true marvel of nature, reminds us of the extraordinary world we live in.